Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Long ago, in the mists of history, I decided to start streaming. And back in those days, OBS didn't exist. I forget what I used. I think it was something called XSplit or something like that. And the first game I ever streamed was Hexen. I'm not really sure why I chose that game as like a first game to stream, but whatever. I mean, it worked. And so today, we're going to be taking a look at Hexen. Now, this is actually being played with the Hexen Wrath of Chronos Mod, which basically turns Hexen into a full RPG. For those who've never even heard of Hexen, watch the review. But those who don't remember, Hexen is basically a action RPG. I say basically because there's no XP system or anything like that. You gotta remember, this is from like 1995, so very early days. So what we got here are a few different character classes. The original game just had Fighter, Cleric, and Mage. The mod adds the Hunter and Necromancer. Now, since I am a nerdy boy, I'm going to be playing as the Mage, who has a really lame-ass name. It's like Dandelion or something. And yes, I can see that it says that I need to use HUD scale 0. All it does is make the HUD extremely small for some reason. I'm not really sure why it's doing that. It's something with the mod. The mod, unfortunately, hasn't been updated in like, I think like 5 or 6 years. And yeah, MA77, you probably didn't beat this game because it is almost impossible to beat. Not because it's really hard, but because it's really confusing. I only ever beat it legit once in like 2005 or something. I mainly just cheated back in the 90s. The old cheat code was visit, V-I-S-I-T, and then you just type in like a level name. And the Cleric is usually like the favorite, but then again, I've got a Mage Staff. My grandfather always referred to this Mage Staff as like a 22. It's kind of weak, but it's got infinite ammo, and well, you got a ranged attack. Yeah, Doom 2016 is now available on GOG. So that's kind of neat that now we no longer have DRM on that. One thing I'm not really excited about when it comes to Doom the Dark Ages is the fact that it has DevNo on it, and I'm not really fond of that. Eventually, I'm sure that'll get removed. Well, beating Hexen as BJ Blazkowicz. Now, that is actually remarkably... that actually kind of works, because we do have magic in Wolfenstein, at least the original. So, yeah, 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dearie me. No, I don't. Right. Yes, I do. Alright. And I'm back. Okay. It's trying to get crushed here. So what we got here is you're supposed to take down one of the Serpent Riders, which is sort of the overarching villain of the Heretic / Hexen franchise. Basically, it's a bunch of D&D monsters that have like magical powers and shit. It's one of those things that had this come out at a different time, I think people would have become a little bit more... Actually, this game actually does have a pretty big fandom, but I would have liked to have seen this with a little more advanced gameplay mechanics. As it is, though, this mod basically turns the game into like first-person Diablo almost. Funny enough, I actually did review Hexen 2 for Classic Game Room, and so yes, I did play it. It's a little less confusing, a little less confusing than this game in some ways. Kind of looks like crap though, just because it is early Quake engine. Okay, let's go ahead and bump up Wisdom and Intellect, because, well, we're a mage. And get a little bit of Constitution, so I can take a couple more hits. Let's see here. Let's go for Ice Bolt. There's a lot of freezing in this game. Yeah, this is the fan mod, Wrath of Chronos. And Wrath of Chronos is basically, it's to Hexen as Brutal Doom is to Doom. Because this basically takes what was already pretty good about this game and turns it into something even better. You know, we finally have an XP system, whereas the original game did not have that. I would imagine so, Cody Madsen. My Hexen 2 review actually got me on Classic Game Room Undertow. They were quite fond of that. I basically, on CGR Undertow, I was pretty much the only guy who talked about PC games, since that wasn't that big a deal back in those days. And I gotta tell you, Hexen 2 is pretty good. It's just kind of sad that, like, it doesn't get nearly as much love as it deserves. What Hexen 2 and Hexen 1 really needs is a compass mod that actually points to where you need to go, because, man, this game can get really confusing. Right now, this level is pretty generic first-person shooter fare, provided you know what to do. I mean, I've played this so long, like, did you know you're supposed to shoot that bell to open up a door that lets you progress? I bet not. And yeah, the N64, this game did get ported to the PlayStation 1 and N64. The PC version is, of course, superior to all and to all a good night. But the N64 is pretty okay. The PS1 version is pretty garbage. It uses, like, giant save files. And yeah, there's switches all over the place. What this was supposed to be is somebody's D&D game in, like, well, video game form. This was still when people were trying to figure out how to make games in the first place. This like fucking blew me away as a kid.
Greetings, mortal. Are you ready to die?
The game's actually talking, man! Oh my god! I mean, that was pretty great for like 1995. My only issue with modern day graphics is just the fact that they are way too over-designed. I can never tell where to look. But this game would be perfectly playable today if... Actually, I probably should level up here. If they just gave you a better map and some objective markers and stuff like that. We're about to see why this game is kind of loved and kind of hated. I still love it. But, you know, because, like, how do you complete this? This is not even really a quest. What we're trying to do in this level here is we're trying to open up this one door to continue on. And it's gonna get pretty tedious and pretty confusing soon enough. And speaking of modern day graphics, we got Oblivion, that has been remastered. I'm not gonna lie, I think it looks kind of crap. Let's go ahead and just start putting points into Ice Bolt. Let's go ahead and save here. It says I still have a skill point, but I thought I used them all. Oh, I must have one more skill point on a stat. Okay. Let's get Ice Bolt again. Let's just really level that one up. The Demon on the Hexen 2 front cover was on the disc. Huh. I've not actually looked at my Hexen 2 disc in a long bloody time. I actually have the original Hexen, Hexen 1 CD and the Hexen 2 CD and the Hexen 2 manual. This was definitely somebody's D&D game because the manuals for these games actually have basically what is a novella. Like, this is real D&D stuff. And you kind of see it in the game, but the game doesn't kind of bore you with massive amounts of lore. Like, if you look at the lore on, like, for Heretic at least, on the guy, Corvus, there we go. You gotta get in the right universe here. Corvus, it's like, holy crap, he's got a giant amount of backstory, especially for the 90s. As it is, like, Dandelion here, our mage dude, he has a tiny amount of backstory, but he still has it. Like, we even learned in the instruction manual, like, the society and everything. It's pretty crazy. I have the Hexen series on GOG. Looks like sale. If you're gonna play Hexen, my recommendation is play them with GZ Doom and the Wrath of Chronos mod. It's gonna be a lot more fun. Base Hexen isn't bad, but Wrath of Chronos just fixes so many different things. Because, you gotta remember, 95, so there's only so much they could do. And it was great back then, but the mod makes it so much better and really lets it stand the test of time in a way that the original just can't. If you want to play a remaster of Morrowind, well, there actually is a remaster of sorts for it, and it's called More Oblivion. I actually got a review of that, along with a tutorial on how to get it working. It's basically Morrowind remastered in the Oblivion engine, and I prefer that version, I might add. I got, like, completely flamed in the comments for that, but it's like, oh, you just don't understand Morrowind. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna play it the way I want to play it. Go fuck yourself. So yeah, if you want to play Morrowind with better graphics and less finicky gameplay, More Oblivion is where it's at. I have a whole tutorial on that. It's fairly easy to get working, but a little tedious. And yeah, back in the 90s, if you wanted lore, you had to read it in the manual. Because there was no way you were going to run that on a single CD or floppy disk. Especially those floppy disks. 1 meg and that was it. And yeah, like with Sky Oblivion on the way, yeah, the Oblivion remaster is not something that's got me super excited. I'm not even going to play the Oblivion remaster. Just because it's like, I'm not really a big fan of Unreal Tournament 5 anyway. I don't know if you really need a Fallout 3 remaster. I mean, all it's gonna do is be over-designed crap. I'm just saying. It's not gonna look that great. And really, if you want to do any remastering with Fallout 3, all you gotta do is just download some texture packs. Some animation improvements. It's really not that hard. It's like, come on, it's a skill issue if you don't know how to do it. I forgot to mention, so we just solved 1/3 of the puzzle on the 7 portals. All you did was just hit a switch. I guess if you actually solved a puzzle, that might be a little better, but meh. What I would like to see... Oh yeah, this blew me away as a kid too. It's like, oh my god, we got an actual earthquake in a game! I mean, for 95, that was great. I mean, consider back in Doom... You know, we barely had walls, and now we've got actual level crap going on. Alright, so we got that mask, so we can open a door that'll let us get a key, that'll let us solve another third of the puzzle. I know, basically that piece of text says that I need to reset the HUD, but if I do, it becomes completely, it becomes so small I can't read it. So, I don't know what that issue is. I guess it was never fixed, so yeah, I don't know. It's just what it is. Some of these mods work right, some of them don't. I'm not really sure Oblivion even needed a remaster or a complete remake. It's like, wouldn't it make more sense to devote resources to making another Elder Scrolls game? And yeah, there's already some turmoil about that Oblivion remaster. Evidently they had the genders as type 1 and type 2. Oh dear. Okay, let's get intellect. Let's get one more. Actually, let's see here. What would be good? Let's get spark. Why not spark? Okay, which one is that? Oh yeah, there we go. Some videos. The guy from Force Elisa who saw his fan to the point he actually challenged Filoni on lore. Good. I mean, Filoni and his baloney was the first strike against the Star Wars EU. He blew it up for a stupid orange goon bait. Because seriously, ladies and gentlemen, was Ahsoka ever a good character? Ahsoka really doesn't fit. Especially since I have reread and rewatched Revenge of the Sith. It's like, where does she fit in that? That is such a shit retcon. How would Anakin be old enough to do that? You have to retcon Anakin's age. Because Anakin is basically a child. Basically, he's in his early 20s and pretty immature. There's no way he could have ever been a Jedi Knight that would act as a master to an actual, you know, Padawan. It wouldn't work. I have not seen the Doom plus Doom 2 Collector's Edition, just because, how many more times can I buy the same game? It just didn't really interest me much. The only thing I really know about Doom 1 plus Doom 2 is that you can reuse those WAD files with GZ Doom. It will work with that, so you don't have to buy it again. Yeah. $666. Wow. Beautiful. But yeah, we did not need Ahsoka. It's like, imagine you take like Apocalypse Now and you kidify it. You turn it into an 80s. I guess they kind of did that with Rambo, but Rambo's not exactly the same thing as Apocalypse Now. But imagine like you turn like Apocalypse Now to like Digimon. It just doesn't really work. The Star Wars was never meant to be just for like kids, you know? It's like Star Wars is not Minecraft, or at least it wasn't. I was actually at the local bookstore today. The half price, no, not the half price books, the full price books. The Star Wars section looks pretty sad. I mean, it's got the Thrawn trilogy, some X-Wing books, and all that Disney crap. Little did I know, there actually is a Captain Phasma book. I'm kind of interested in to see what like a Captain Phasma book even looks like. I mean, what are they gonna? That's a character that Disney tried to really build up and then just like killed off in the second movie. It's like, really? Why waste your time on that? Okay, let's go here, here. Let's just keep putting intellect. We're gonna be smart. We're good at calculus. Let's go ahead and get Spark. Really, the Barnes & Noble looks pretty sad. Like, the amount of books they have that look completely crap is just... Oh, dearie me. The talking heads the other day were saying, like, fiction has become feminized, and I'm like, has it? The answer is not really. But fiction is just kind of crap, and it has been for a while. It's like with everything. There's a competency problem with that. A lot of the covers look really crap, too. Very bright. I guess it's supposed to catch your eye, but then you look at it. Yeah, Clancy Brown has been a mentor character in a few things, so yeah. I don't see why he couldn't be. Clancy Brown is a great character actor that can either play a complete villain or, you know, sort of a wise hero kind of thing. I think one of the sadder aspects of modern fiction is just the fact that every plot is the same. Hence why you primarily find at bookstores a lot of really old books. Like David Weber's Apocalypse Troll from like 1998. Apocalypse Troll is actually a pretty good book. Troll makes no sense by modern standards, but still. Money Crazed Crab. Yes, that too. I actually have preserved some SpongeBob. I'm kind of interested in watching it. Kind of. Kind of. Evidently the first few seasons are pretty good, so I'm like, well, maybe I'll actually sit through, I don't know. Fortress of the Pearl. I will remember that. Recently I've just been reading some Star Wars fan fictions, which are really, really good. Like, professional quality good. It's like, leave it to Hand of Thrawn 45 to actually finish the expanded universe. I mean, that's just a guy. Or possibly, you know, a real No! Or possibly a real Star Wars writer, you know, like masquerading as a fanfic guy. I mean, one of the last books of his I read was really, really, like, it would have been good even if it hadn't been Star Wars. Seasons 1 through 3. Okay, because I'd hate to watch like 20 years of a talking sponge. And yeah, Ron Perlman does make a great muscular character. And the character of Johnner is actually pretty entertaining. People hate on Alien Resurrection, but it's one of my favorite Aliens movies. It's a, you know, kind of a goofy comic book movie. It's fun to watch, unlike Alien 3. Okay, let's go ahead. And we're just blasting through the levels. Okay, let's just keep leveling up to that. We'll go work on health in a minute. Alright. Yeah, Alien Resurrection had some great character actors in it. It wasn't necessarily scary, but can the Xenomorph be scary past the first movie? That's the question. Because, like, once you know what it can do, well, it's kind of not scary anymore. That's my bone of contention with horror and, like, things that man was not meant to know. It's like, humans are smart. It might not seem that way sometimes, but humans are intelligent enough to understand concepts. So, there's really no way that an alien would be that mysterious. I mean, we've got germ theory. I mean, yeah, it seems normal to us, but, like, these little things in our bloodstreams and in our cells that can kill us, it's like, that's a pretty big leap. And yeah, this is a pretty great mod. And hello, Carson. Okay, this is pretty neat. I think this is really cool. I think Raven Software kind of outdid themselves. So, like, the ice is melting! It's melting! Oh my god, look at it! I mean, for 1995, that's pretty sweet. I should think that mage is better than cleric. You know, just because, you know, the mage doesn't own like a mega church and has a show on every Sunday, you know, making lots of money, does not mean that the cleric is better. You know, just because he wrote a book doesn't mean he's better than the mage. Mage all the way. Mage all the way. I guess so, but you know what? Just because the mage here didn't write a book that sold like 1 billion copies and has a live stream on every Sunday does not mean he's inferior. Yeah, the N64 version was one of the few good console ports of this game. Whether I want starfighters or mechs for space combat. The Veritech fighters! Ghostwire is kind of like Hexen. Never heard of it. Jingle all the way. You know, I hate to admit it, but I actually have a... That's one of my guilty pleasures, is Jingle All the Way. I still kind of love that movie. Even if it does have the kid from Phantom Menace in it. Exactly. Turbo time. It's turbo time! And we've got Sinbad. Not the sailor, but the, you know, the comedian that no one remembers. The comedian that no one remembers, but I vaguely had a passing knowledge of in the 90s. Oh yeah, this does have extra weapons. We get like a couple different staves, different spells, stuff like that. The levels are pretty much the same. Yeah, we got different alt fires. We got a 3-round burst for the staff, man! It's like we're totally tactical. Morbin time. I still need to watch Morbius. I'm not really sure what Sony is thinking about, why Sony wants to make movies based on villains that no one really cares about. I mean, I know who, you know, Morbius is. He's basically kind of like a vampire, but not really. He's like a science vampire. And he, like, drinks blood plasma. A transforming starfighter that turns into a mech sadly doesn't make any logical sense. Mainly because you would have to cross-train both pilots and ground combat, and that doesn't work. Like, it's two completely different principles, and I'm not sure you could really... Basically, you'd have really shitty pilots or really shitty, mech jockeys. Put the cookie down now! See, if people aren't reading the chat, they're not gonna know why I even said that. But, like, yeah, you can't really have a mech pilot also be a regular pilot, because, yeah, it's two completely different disciplines. It's cool! You could justify it with, like, saying, like, well, they've got, like, this, AI that can help them out. Or you could say that, oh, they've got, a super brain or something. You could do that, but realistically, you would train one pilot to do one thing and another pilot to do another, because theoretically, you should have the population to do it. This is on ModDB, although you kind of have to search for it. You have to specifically type in Hexen Wrath of Chronos, not just Wrath of Chronos, and I think this is the most up-to-date version of the mod. I think. I'd have to check. I like having the chat on screen, otherwise it would be I'd sound completely insane. It's like, 1 minute I'm talking about logic, the next minute I'm just talking about cookies. And speaking of cookies, ice cookies are the shit. And speaking about ice, ices are the shit as well. I actually went by the gas station today, and they had an actual icy machine. And I'm gonna tell you, accept no substitutes, because a real icy is better than any of the fake-ass ices you'll find. I'm not sure if every Circle K has them, but Circle K will sell, like, fake ices called, I think, like Frosties or something. They're close. But an actual icy brand icy is better. And I'm tempted to make a video on that at some point. Talking about the differences. Because there is an important difference, damn it! It's like an icy brand icy is actually going to be a better product. Like the actual icy, like, formula not only tastes better, but it doesn't clump up at the bottom. So, yeah. Cartoon, it still has a cartoon dog on it. I used to drink ices all the fucking time to the point where I had, like, enough icy fan club points to buy, like, all the swag. I even have an icy duffel bag. Okay, so that doesn't open. Maybe I don't need anything here, but I thought I needed something in here. But yeah, accept no substitutes. Like, it's just, ices, you have to do it. And they're not even, and depending on where you get them, they shouldn't even be that much more expensive than like a fake-ass one. Oh, that my local bowling alley, there we go, I needed to jump in here. Like, if you get one at like a bowling alley or something, it's gonna be really expensive. Like, at the gas station, they're like $2. At like the bowling alley, they're more like $3. But you know what? They kind of have you as a captive audience. See, I like my bowling alley. It's a classic Texas bowling alley where there's a sign that literally says, people be concealed carrying. Because hell yeah, they encourage it. Mech's better. I think the Gundam mobile suits are meant to replace fighters. Mechs and Star Fox. Yeah, but once again, you wouldn't train somebody to fly a plane and do ground combat. You just wouldn't do it. Because that's a lot, it's two completely different disciplines. And yes, I am a heavy metal fan. Big fan of, Sabaton and, the classic Judas Priest. Free. Ooh, that's cool. I'd love some free ices. Actually, the first time I encountered the Simpsons arcade was at a baseball diamond. You know you're getting old when some places are literally not only not there, but like there's something built on top of the ruins. Because like the old, I don't even like baseball, but there was a baseball diamond I went to as a kid, and now it is an apartment complex. It's one thing that COVID caused that I really hate. A door open on the Guardian of Ice that I really hate is all these apartments got built. And they look like shit. I know I've complained about it before, but whenever you go out driving in my area, it's like every piece of grass that ever was has been replaced by apartments. And they're all that same, you know, commie block crap. You know, it's just disgusting. Invincible Shield is an amazing album. Better than Firepower. I have not listened to anything current, though. My favorite is still Painkiller. 99 cents. That's pretty good. Old-fashioned lemonade is up there with ices. Well, good. Get some lemonade. I never was a lemonade fan. Too tart for my taste. It is too tart! It's lemon time. It's never even seen a lemon. That's what I loved about the old Simpsons. They could make like a whole epic plot out of nothing. Like, there's one episode where the lemon tree gets stolen by the Shelbyville kids, and like Bart and all his like inexplicable friends have to go like save it, and it's a whole episode of them trying to get back a fucking tree. Okay, so I do have the steel key. Trying to keep track of what keys I have. Okay, so we got the steel key, we got the fire key, we've got the green key, whichever the fuck one that is. Now this enemy right here is actually from Heretic. We do see some Heretic enemies in this. With imp sounds for whatever reasons. So you openly hating the same kill acting worse than the cop with the mask. Yeah, COVID really did cause a lot of crap. Crazy to think how long... It's crazy to think about how long ago that was. 5 years. Pineapple. I actually like Pineapple. Oh, he's not in Heretic? I thought he was. I thought he was one of the later enemies. Huh. I have not played Heretic in a while. Praise him. It's a cool party. Yeah, all that lockdown. A museum employee. A cool museum, I hope. But, yeah, that whole lockdown business. Now, I live in Texas, so, you know, we didn't really do the whole lockdown thing. So, people still went out all the time. Here, you'll see, like, maybe 1 or 2 people going around with masks, but it's very rare. Like, I went to I went to a mall that wasn't dead today, and not a single person had a mask on. Green letter is from Heretic. I thought it was. Armed security during COVID. Alright. I remember I went to a game store during like 2021, right? And that's back when you kind of had to mask at places that were kind of, shall we say, progressive, and game stores are often that way. And so I had that stupid mask on, but I had it underneath my nose, and literally, like, one of the employees is like, hey, could you pull your mask up? It's like, but I can't breathe. Like, deal with it. Connecticut, but work in New York City. New York is an interesting place. My great-grandfather actually wanted to visit there once. He like wrote a whole like paper on that for school, which we still have. And man, people wrote in cursive back in those days, and holy crap, they must have practiced a lot more than we do today. Cause damn. I don't know why the game just froze there for a second. The UK moved there in 2009. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going back to the Englandies, because yeah, it's getting pretty bad over there. Apparently, I don't know how true any of that is, because sometimes people have been known to bloviate, but at the same time, yeesh. So what we've been doing so far is we're trying to open up one door to progress, and it's basically just trying to find keys and pull switches. And that's it. That's all you do for the whole game, but I find it fun. I think it's kind of therapeutic almost. And yeah, I could agree with that about COVID. Gift card. Forgot your pre-order DLC. Yeesh. Panic subscriber. Ugh. Thankfully, no one in my family actually went nuts about the COVIDs. I mean, we were a little careful for a while, but then eventually it's like, yeah, we're gonna keep on living life. And once again, this is Texas, so people didn't go too crazy. Abandoned 3th Century Mall. Biggest mall. I mean, I don't know, maybe Texas is different, but like all the malls here are mostly alive. I mean, the Woodlands Mall is still pretty popular. I mean, there was a shitload of people there, and it was even hard to get to the mall because there was some kind of bicycle competition, and people were still going there. We saw the teaser, Force Awakens. Did it blind me? Blind me? No. When I first saw the teaser trailer for Force Awakens, I thought it was for a fan film. I literally thought it was for a fan film. I was like, you know, it doesn't look too bad. You know, I mean, they did a good job. They did a pretty good job with that, you know? I did not think it was a real movie, though. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I'd had a friend talk to me about it, and he was like, oh yeah, like, Force Awakens looks pretty good. I was like, okay, I'll look at it. And I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, is this the real trailer? It looks so fan filmy. Like, you know, they had a budget of like $50,000 and that's what they did. So yeah, I've not actually seen Force Awakens. I just haven't really had much of a desire to do so, but I've seen clips. And the clips I've seen do not in any way look good. Like, they look pretty bad. And that's not an exaggeration, they just don't look very good to me. The malls here in Connecticut are still alive. The Danbury Mall. Small compared to 72-ounce steaks. Damn straight. Although, I can't imagine how much a 72-ounce steak would cost now. Unfortunately, due to rising prices, I don't really eat steak much anymore. Mainly just chicken. So much fucking chicken. Thought they would bring in Smoke. Like, nothing cool is coming. Snoke. Okay, I was like, Smoke, who? Yeah, like Snoke was supposed to be cool, then they offed him in like the second movie like he was nothing. But yeah, the Woodlands Mall is still pretty cool. They got a few game stores, a few nerd stuff. Yeah, it's alright. It is 100% okay. I just wanted to actually get out and go, okay, now what the hell am I trying to go? What key do I have? We need to open up a thing that opens up a thing. Whataburger was pretty good. I say was, like, when I was a young kid, pretty great. Unfortunately, the burgers are a bit dry now. The flavors aren't that great. Really, the best hamburger place that's not... Okay, it is expensive, but the best actual fast food hamburger place, it's going to be Sonic. The hamburgers have a much better flavor, much better texture, like by far a better texture to it than a Whataburger burger. And so that's really, and they're about the same price too. They're not any cheaper or any more expensive. If you're going to get a hamburger in Texas, just go to Sonic. They're all going to be pretty good. I actually got a Sonic burger just last week. The manager was like the only one working there, and so he got my order wrong like 3 times, and I finally got it, and like it was upside down and slathered in mayonnaise, and it was still good. So yeah. The crossguard lightsaber, yeah, that did not look that great. Steak when it's 2 days from expire to get the fair price. Huh, I have to check that out. Because I haven't really looked at a steak at all, because even when it is like ready to expire, it's still expensive. Yeah, Sonic is a pretty good place to get... Okay, we did not open that. It's a pretty good place to get fast food, even... It's like everything is expensive now, unfortunately. And it's not going to get any better for at least another couple of years. Okay, let's go ahead and... Wait, do I not have any points? I thought I did. No? Okay. It lies. Waiters go on roller skates. Yeah, they don't really go on roller skates here. They just walk. They're lazy. But I mainly just go through the drive-thru. I don't really sit there and wait to eat. Okay, so... Did we not do something? And see, this is where a mod could really... We need to have this door open here, and that'll let us solve another piece of the puzzle. Knuckles. Wait. Oh god, I just got it. For a moment, I was like, wait a minute. There actually is there a place called Knuckles? It's like TJ Knuckles or something? you mean the furry... You mean the furry, right? It's the furry. Let's see. It's the brightly colored furry. Sonic and Knuckles. I actually watched Sonic 1 a while back. I've not seen the other Sonics, but I gotta tell you, Sonic 1, remarkably, not a bad movie. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. One movie that came and went that no one cares about anymore is Detective Pikachu. Nobody cares about that anymore. Like, it just came and went. And Detective Pikachu wasn't that awful. Like, a Pokemon movie really doesn't have a big chance of actually succeeding because it's so complicated with all the Pokemon lore. Because yes, there's a shitload of Pokemon lore. But like, they actually made Sonic a halfway adequate character. They actually made the human not too annoying. The same way with Detective Pikachu. Like, Ryan Reynolds as, well, Pikachu. I didn't expect that. But, you know, I mean, he did a decent enough job. Okay, where are we trying to go? Transatlantic accent. Not bad, not bad. Believe it or not, I actually did date a girl from New Zealand for a few years. And she had the New Zealand accent is very different from like the English accent. And you better say that it is, because if you don't, oh man, you're gonna get torched for that one. ABC Sonic was the best. I have not seen Sonic Sat AM. The only Sonic anything I saw as a kid was, what was that called? The one with Jaleel White. What was it? The crappy one. And I only vaguely remember that. Charizard, I don't know what that one is. Hey, Charizard is great. He doesn't follow any rules but his own, man. He likes to fry Ash all the time. Okay, we just came from here. Okay, we don't want to go into the metal world. Peter Jackson. Yeah, Dead Alive and Brain Dead. I kick ass for the Lord. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I only saw that once because it came on. I don't know how kids watched some of those movies, or not movies, but TV shows. It's like they would come on at like super early in the morning, but you'd be going to school, so it's not like you could watch it. Oblivion Remaster, I don't think it's necessary, especially with mods. I recognize that for the console players. Okay, here we go. Now I think we're on the path again. No, we're not, because I think we were already here. Yeah, okay. We really need like some kind of... We need some kind of map or something that can tell us where we have already been. I just solved this like last week. I remember how hard this was when I tried to stream for the very first time, trying to get everything to work. Meet the Feebles and Bad Taste. I remember Bad Taste, but I don't think I've ever seen Meet the Feebles though. But as for Oblivion, I don't know if it's really necessary, and on top of that, I think the graphics look kind of crap. I just don't really like that overly realistic look that a lot of modern day games have, especially because they kind of have that uncanny valley. It just doesn't do it for me. 80s and 90s TMNT. I mean, arguably they're much easier to watch now because man, Pokemon is pretty cringy, as they say. Yeah, because the Sat AM Sonic had a had Jim Cummings voice Dr. Robotnik, and he was actually legitimately evil, whereas the other one, he was just kind of a joke. Is this where we want to go? I can hear stuff moving. And if you can hear stuff moving, you know you're actually going the right direction. Let's see. The American accent is more accurate to the British accent. That I've heard that as well. Realistic art styles are boring. Yes, they are. Well, that's Turtles. TMNT 3. You know, growing up in the 90s, I never really watched any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. I have no idea why. I think I might have been born slightly too late to really appreciate it. Residents in North Carolina. What isn't in North Carolina? That's the weirdest thing, you know? You got weirdo, like, British North Carolinians, and they make AKs and G3s. And hello, Riley. Did a great episode on TMNT. Those Michael Bay films were pretty bad. I am actually getting on in years. I am actually 36 as of this year. Like, literally in February of this year, I turned 36. I don't know what to think about that. On the one hand, I don't feel old because I eat healthy and exercise. I'm not going bald, thankfully. Always remember to take all the hair vitamins you possibly can. But I don't feel old, I guess is the main thing. I just don't feel like I'm actually my age. It's weird. 38 going on 39. Yeesh. Chris Chan's accent. Ugh. Followed you for years. You've been a great beacon of hope to my alcohol is over a year old. Well, I'm glad I kept you sober, Isabella, because that is not an easy thing. I don't drink, but I've definitely heard that it is not an easy prospect. And I'm glad the likes of the More Oblivion video were able to keep you going. 35, starting to get gray. Oh dear. All the street signs have crowns on them. Head. I thankfully come from a family that has hair. My grandfather never went bald, and so I'm pretty in the clear. Although he did have a hole in his hair. All the hair vitamins. It's been 32 years since 1992. Oh my god. That is kind of scary when you think about it, though. 28, exercise, lost 40 pounds. That is not an easy thing to do. Where the hell are we trying to be? I have not played Heretic 2. I did not play it back in the 90s, and I have the file on my hard drive, but it's never gotten around to it. Okay, do we go? We've already been there. I hit a switch and it opened something. See, this is what always happens with Hexen here. Is you got to remember what you opened, and you can't like look up like what you did. And the next one, the next level, is even worse. Like it's even worse. Fantasy Max Payne. I like the sound of that. I do know that's where we finally got Corvus's name, because I don't think Corvus even had a name in the first Heretic. Been sober since 1971. That is a long bloody time. That is crazy to think. That's like 50 years. You know, Gray. She like Edward Norton. Okay, now where the... I just did it like... Oh, wait, maybe it opened up that door. I think that might have opened... This needs a quest log. But, you know, back in 1990, whatever the hell, there's no way they could have added a quest log, because that would have probably used up too many system resources. Nope, it didn't open up that one. Sergeant Mark IV did work on Brutal Heretic, but not Hexen. The first Star Trek show I was introduced to was the original series. Back, I think, like when I was like 5 or 6. That was actually a pretty good year. I have only the vaguest recollections of getting introduced to Star Trek and Star Wars at around the same time. My favorite Star Wars film back then was Empire. These days, it's A New Hope. The song or the actual ship? It's like, it's the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I tried to record, or my grandfather tried to record all the Star Trek movies off of TV, but that's back when they introduced some kind of thing that that basically messed up any sort of VHS recordings. So it was just a black screen. 58195, not bad. Well, I've heard things about Sergeant Mark IV as well, and I'm not sure how true that is. I think they've been trying to cancel him because there's a lot of people who are jealous of what he did with Doom. Because every modder kind of wanted to be him, where it basically made mods, you know, legitimately popular for like the first time ever. Like even non-PC gamers were playing Brutal Doom at one point. And so I think that pissed people off. And so it's like, oh yeah, and he's a Nazi, and he's a rapist, and all the rest, you know. I'm not sure how much of that I actually believe. Because it just seems like they're trying to say that, you know. Damn it! Yeah, you actually have fall damage in this game. Man, I need to get that door open, and I need to get one... I think that's... Where's the other... Where's the switch, though? And, the song didn't come out in 76. Okay. Thoughts of redesigns, old cartoons getting rebooted versions. I don't really like reboots that much, just because they kind of lose some of the charm of the original. Sometimes you can do a good reboot. Transformers can be rebooted and has been remarkably well, but most of the time it's hit or miss. Maybe. Oh my. Hey, you know, we don't need a faster run speed when you got a plasma rifle. But at the same time, it's like that guy, you know, Sergeant Mark IV, I don't know, like, what the current issue is with him now, but, like, at one time, like, he apparently said a few things, but once again, how true is that? Because there's a lot of stuff attributed to a lot of people. Drama sells! Drama sells! So you just kind of got to be careful, don't believe everything you read. From grade Big Mac Davis. I never heard of him. I'll have to look that up. It's always weird. To the best edgy teenager. Yeah, so I don't know. When it comes to any sort of thing like that, all it takes is one person saying like, oh yeah, he did this. Nobody fact checks, and it's like, oh, well, he's the bad guy. Because didn't it come out where like that weirdo, there's a lot of weirdos. What was that guy's name? Pro Jared, I want to say. Apparently he got up to some bad stuff at one point, then it turned out to be false. Or like that Gerard guy, Gerard Khalil, that's his name. Apparently he stole some money, but then come to find out he didn't. So I'm just like, eh. Okay, we're about to no-clip. I can't find it, so we're gonna no-clip till we can get through here. Because I can't remember what switch I'm supposed to pull. I blame the chat. It's of the West, chance of it. Oh, don't even get me started on that, lads and lasses. Oh dear. Because, yeah. The West, indeed, is in some troubles. But, I don't know, I mean, like, things are getting a little better in America. I mean, people just want to be left alone. I think that's the main thing. Most people are not political, like, at all. And it's only been in, like, the last 10 years that people have actually even thought about politics in a way that is kind of interesting to me. UAC Labs. Oh, yes. There's more. There's more really. There's the poll mod that one of my edgy friends showed me once. Oh yeah, 4chan has died. RIP, I guess. I never used 4chan, but it's been dead for a while now. But there is a political mod that is considered very, shall we say, offensive. I've actually seen gameplay of that, and yeah, it is oh dear. Oh dear, indeed. There's one mod that I actually ended up recommending for a video once, where like the modder was like, put out a tweet once about Happy Columbine Day, so yeah. Modders are a strange bunch. Very strange indeed. Falls. Yep, exactly. The land whale, 5 innocent people. Yeesh. Yeah, that's why you just gotta be careful. Oh yeah, I like that guy. I've actually talked to that Icarus guy once or twice. Okay, now where the hell is a Trump Doom mod? Oh my. Okay, where the hell? Okay, I think we are mostly on the path. I think we might have opened up something. That's basically the whole game in a nutshell. We might have opened up something. Strife. Yeah, I've heard of Strife. I just never played it. Like, I have... There we go. Stairs have risen on the 7 portals. Okay, we're finally making it. Bitter about Project Brutality. When it comes to Project Brutality and Brutal Doom, people really do get pissed off. Like, really pissed off. But I like it. I like those mods, and I'm going to play them. And I'm going to recommend them, too. But yeah, I have played Strife, but I never really got into it. Takes up to the steel room. Okay, I think we're on the path to that then. There we go, we got some stairs. We've got stairs, people! There we go. We need, like, some kind of thing. We need something to tell us where we're going. Okay, go back to steel then. Okay, let's go ahead and shoot this guy. There's actually, that's called an Eton, or an Eton. It's supposed to be based on some kind of mythology. It's some kind of mythology. It's like, you know, Hercules is not really accurate. Bip. Yeah, this is totally remastered Oblivion. Classic Doom on the... You can finally play Brutal Doom on a console. Huh. Need to go to that big steel room in the Guardian of Steel. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Oh, we are in the Guardian of Steel now, so... How to make a game. Survival horror set in a prison. I think that actually is already a game, Agnostic Libertarian. That already exists. It's called, The Suffering. The Suffering is basically that from, I think it came out like in 2003. I even have a video on it! It's in the room you're in. Okay, so... Now, which one is it, though? Is it going to be that? I think... Is it the one with the key or not? I think I know which room you're talking about, though. Favorite change between TNG and TOS? I have to think about that. There we go. We got it. We got another third of the puzzle solved. We got a third pounder, ladies and gentlemen. Evidently, there was a third pounder hamburger, and people thought it was smaller than the quarter pounder. I could see that happening. When you consider the state of IQ in this country, it's like, oh dear, people are bad at math. Rising and Falling Walls. I've not played The Ties That Bind, but I have played the original Suffering, and yeah, it is pretty bloody good. You turn into the Demon Hulk. Yeah, setting stuff in like a prison's always kind of difficult, because you can't really have too many weapons, because, well, it is a prison after all. There's a game I should review at some point called The Great Escape. It's supposed to be an adaptation of the movie The Great Escape. And yeah, 1/3 is more than 1/4, or 1/4. But, you know, once again, you should look at, like, how many people know how to read these days. When I was in school, 20 years ago, My 30% of my graduating class didn't even graduate. So there's that. Oh dear. Okay, so I didn't level up. Yeah, it would have been on the original Xbox. President 1963 using World War II weapons. Not a bad idea. Twisted Metal Black. Now that's a game I haven't thought of in years. I actually have the real copy of that. I remember nothing about it though. Okay, so we got another third of that puzzle solved. Did that finally open up the door? What? Okay, good. We finally made it. We finally opened up the door. It only took an hour. Always played in third person. And yeah, pretty much the only way you can get the suffering now, since it's no longer on GOG, is you're going to have to get creative. Always back up. Especially always back up your mods. I've been working on a video on Doom mods, and some of those mods are gone, or like they had to be reposted because a modder went nuts or something and took them down. It's like always back up. Have like multiple like external hard drives and don't keep them plugged in all the time. It's like if you're not gonna have, in addition to having physical releases, there it is. Always back up everything. It's using emulators. See, I like emulators because eventually that old school hardware is gonna break down. Because my Dreamcast died a few years back, and I hadn't even been using it. I plugged it in one day, you know, it's like, you know, just kind of wanting to break it out again, and it wouldn't read any discs. It's like, fuck! You can, if your Dreamcast does die, there is a mod for that. It's expensive. I think it's like $200 or $300, but to where you'll run games off of a SD. But if you're running games off of an SD card, it's like, it's not really the same thing. It's just like, yeah, you can repair the hardware, but it is going to be expensive. This is one of our new weapons, a new staff. Still works after 23 years. Holy crap. Having passed the 7 portals which seal this realm, a vast domain of harsh wilderness stretches before you. Fire, ice, and steel have tested you, but greater challenges remain ahead. The dense tangle of forest surely hides hostile eyes, but what lies beyond will be worse. Barren desert, dank swamps, and musty caverns bar your way, but you cannot let anything keep you from your fate, even if you might come to wish that it would. And beyond, flickering in the distance, the ever-shifting walls of the hypo-style seem to mock your every effort. Now, we're not actually going to see any of that, because this is 1995.
My servants can smell your blood, human.
See, this is back when, like, you had to just kind of write what you're supposed to see. Because we're not going to really have dank forests or any of that. And yeah, I got me a red ring of death a long time ago. Now sometimes, like, you do need original hardware. You can't emulate Rogue Squadron 3 on Dolphin, but so you kind of still have to play it on the original stuff, but whatever. Most of the time you can emulate everything. Preferred version of Descent Rebirth, if the dev stopped working. Huh, well that's annoying. Early 80s Atari 2600. I still need to buy one of those. Disney Princess of Search of the Snow White. Space Marine 2. Nice. 60 died in 2018. Yeah, my 360 is in a storage room. I still need to play Space Marine 2. In fact, I'm going to probably start playing that somewhat soon, because I'm going to pop in my new processor tomorrow. The Ryzen 7. Cyberpunk. No! Damn you! I'm going to blame the chat. But I bet the cleric couldn't survive that. I mean, Cyberpunk running on the Switch too. I mean, it makes sense because there's people that want to play games on a console. So, yeah. Just bought Prost Trauma. Never even heard of it. This 2 was part of the batch that was defective. My PS2 still is alive after all these years, and I bought it used. And I bought that bloody game bought that bloody system used. I actually bought a PlayStation 2 simply because the Xbox original I was using at the time died, and it was the second Xbox original that I'd had, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go PS2, and I'm pretty glad I did, actually. But I mean, Space Marine 1 was pretty good. Space Marine 2 looks like it should be pretty good. I'm not sure how much I like the kind of like Dark Soulsian combat where you gotta like dodge and shit. I kind of just wanted it to be a third-person shooter, but whatever. I'm not sure if I am gonna do a test stream with that or not. I know I won't be doing it tomorrow because I won't have time, but I definitely will be streaming a more modern game. I might stream... Ooh. Oh, I can't! Damn it! I was gonna say I might stream like a much more modern game the next time, but then I realized next week is May the 4th, so I'm gonna be streaming a Revenge of the Sith game. Post-Trauma was meant to look like a late PS2 game. Ooh, I kind of like the sound of that. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Buying 2012 Judge Dredd movie. Yes, it is good. Judge Dredd from 2012 is a good movie. It is good. Judge Dredd from 2010. No, it wasn't from 2012. It's from 2010. No, it is from 2012. Yeah, it's from 2012. Judge Dredd in 2012 actually is a much darker movie than the one from the 90s. Although the one from the 90s is still fun. That Judge Dredd movie, though, does have one glaring flaw in it, though, and that's because it came out at the time of 3D. People were like going nuts over 3D. It's like, oh, everything has to be 3D, man. And there's some obvious 3D scenes that just drag on forever. Basically, there's a drug they came up with called slow-mo, and like it'll slow down your perception, and that's the gratuitous 3D. It's pretty bad. Ooh, Revenge. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is coming back to theaters. I actually got a video that's going to come out on May the 4th reviewing the movie. My opinion of Revenge of the Sith is that it is 100% okay. Book's better. Book is way better. I mentioned that in the last couple of streams, but the book is so much better. Like, it really makes Anakin legitimately scary. Let's see... And yeah, Anti-Whiteout, my favorite is still the original from the 90s too, because it's just more fun. It's more fun of a movie. I actually got a 3D print of the Dredd 2012 pistol, though. Free comic book day. I don't ever read any comics anymore. Like, the modern stuff just isn't that great for me. He's a great Dredd. Yes, he does. Okay, so this one's a little more complicated. Like, you really gotta pay attention. Oh yeah, we already missed where the swamp key is. We gotta go zap Shrek before he can get old. Say Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is pretty good. The Ewok stuff drags on a bit. But everything else about that movie is pretty great. Also, I really hate the special edition, the special ed edition, where they make that stupid weird alien sing a whole lot more. And I really hate that because it sticks in your brain. That song, as annoying as it is, will stick in your brain and never leave. It will never leave. But it's kind of worth it for the Battle of Endor. You know, the final showdown between Luke and Darth Vader. The scene where, like, Darth Vader's like, "You have constructed a new lightsaber." It's like, he wants to be like, "I'm so proud of you, son, you're awesome." And then Luke is all like, "Then my father is truly dead." It's like, that hurt him worse than the lightsaber. I remember when Revenge of the Sith was coming out, though, one of the TV spots was Sith Happens. I wonder if that sold any tickets or not. I can't... West Coast Avengers? There's a West Coast Avengers? Man, they're really running out of ideas. Decker's Blaster, the 45 long slide. 45 long slide! I still want one, even if I'm not willing to pay for it. Yeah, I mean, the special editions... I will say this, though. I'm glad they exist for one reason. I was able to see A New Hope as a kid, when they came back to theaters, and it was a lot of fun going to see that. God damn it. Fucking lava. Am I gonna have to, like, no-clip my way up there? I guess, Dandelion here. No, we don't. Okay, there we go. I did not know that, the mage, Dandelion is actually immune to lava. Yeah, I kinda like that, but whatever. The OG trilogy specialized on DVD or Blu-ray. I mean, it kind of exists. You could get the original Laserdisc transfers on the 2006 Star Wars DVDs. And you better believe I have those. Too many ignorant things. Well, I don't consider Luke Skywalker Mark Hamill. So, you know, I can ignore Mark going nuts. Obi-Wan Jerobi. Really, Mark? Really? How much did they pay you to say that? How much money have you wasted since Star Wars that you need the money to say that? There's unnecessary CGI additions. Yeah, the CGI was always pretty bad. I mean, bringing back Jabba the Hutt, you know, like... you know, in the 90s, like, it was kind of cool to have more Harrison Ford. It's only in recent years that you really kind of notice that those, that some of those 3D models look really bad, or like Han dodging to the left somehow. Action. Just to complete my connection of Gits. I don't know what Gits is. Splatter films. Toxic Adventure and Poultrygeist. I know those are things, because there's a YouTube channel I'm subscribed to called, Red Cow Entertainment. And, the guys on there are really, big fans of Troma. I think one of them even worked for Troma at one point. It's weird to think that Troma, at least according to those guys, actually had James Gunn working for them. And I, for one, am kind of looking forward to that Superman movie. I mean, I'm not going to be like, it's woke! It's like, let's just see if the movie's actually going to be any good before we judge it, you know? Like Arnold as a kid. I still like the Arnold Schwarzenegger characters, but yeah, Arnie really kind of stuck his foot in it. When he was like, yeah, screw your freedoms. It's like, how about no, Arnie? How about no? Bought the original trilogy multiple times on VHS because they would add something. I remember hearing about that. It's more visually consistent. Well, I mean, I guess it's somewhat visually consistent, but all the good special effects that haven't aged badly are all practical, you know? Motion-controlled models and shit like that. And Arnie had to go for the maid. It's like, I don't know, man. You would think that he would be smarter than that, but whatever. That Red Cow Entertainment recently put out a video on Cannibal the Musical, which was done by... it was actually released by Troma, but was done by the South Park guys. It looks like a really shitty movie, but I can kind of respect them for what they did. Guy crapping over the bathroom. Own stories for comics, you know, to show their own stories. My recommendation, if you want to actually get into the publishing business, just start publishing stuff via, like, Amazon. As indie publications are a little easier to do. Trade Pub, everything I've read, now I haven't actually tried to publish anything, but everything I've read, because I've looked into this, is that it's very difficult and very cliquish, you know? You kind of got to do what they tell you to do, and you kind of have to compromise your artistic vision. So, yeah, it's just... the hardest part of anything is getting your stuff out there. Like, for me, I just finally reached 10K subs after all these years. So, yeah, it's like, it's not easy. It's like, none of that is easy, because, like, there's so much stuff competing for your attention. All the movies use practical effects. The thing about CGI is it can work if done in the right way. If you make things too CGI, you can obviously tell it's fake. It's like comparing the practical models in Terminator to, like, say, something made in, like, a 3D modeling program. You can tell what's what. You know, you can really tell. Kind of like the difference between AI and real art. It's like, you can tell if something is AI. It's just obvious. Speaking of which, I actually had a AI try to catfish me the other day. It's where, I think, like, oh, it was like on Facebook, where, like, Katie Tokyo was like, hey, could you DM me? It's like, no, because you have like 6 fingers on one hand. You're obviously not real. Or a guy from like, you know, Nambia or something. See, Isabella knows where it's at because Doctor Who is not that great. Oh man, I've tried Doctor Who. I watched the one with that Eccleston guy and thought it was 100% okay. But man, the rest... I've known a number of people who really, really like Doctor Who. And they've tried to show it to me. And I remember I was part of a podcast that had to watch like one of those Christmas specials. And it was like the cringiest thing ever. Cringy is a good word. It's one of the few modern words I like. My God, it was bad. I mean, I'm sorry if you're a fan, but man, it's bad, though. It's just bad. It looks bad. The acting is bad. The guy that everybody loves, whatever the hell his name is, you know, the British guy. Or for all I know, he's from Australia. That guy, you know, is an overactor. The one that everybody loves. I did not like him. Let's see, thoughts on the Spider-Verse style? I'm not a big fan of the Spider-Verse style. I thought it looked good there, but I really don't like the low frame rate animation. Just looks kind of crap. It's kind of crap. I did not like David Tennant. One indie game looking for is Brutal John. Huh. It's like, it's Duke Nukem's less talented brother. Or more talented, seeing as how Duke Nukem still has to sleep on, Serious Sam's couch. I just picture like Duke Nukem is like, I used to be a contender. Okay, so we need to go over here. Let's see, if you didn't know where that was, you'd be wandering around for hours. I know I was. Need to level up soon. Steven Universe. I've never seen that. I mean, I've heard the name, but I've never seen it. But you gotta remember that a lot of those people don't believe everything you read when it comes to like an actor's political views. They will say anything to get money and to get a career. So they may not believe it, and they may be too weak to fight against it. It's kind of like, you know, Gina Carano. She lost her whole career because she didn't mouth the right things. I remember that podcast I was in, though. They were arguing over like the shape of the TARDIS. It's like, yeesh. Duke Nukem or BJ Blazkowicz? Now that's a good question. I suppose like if both of them got drunk one night, you know, having a few too many alcohols, too much whiskey, probably it's gonna be Duke. Duke is a lot younger than BJ, like by far. And I think like Duke Nukem is supposed to be some kind of super soldier, and also Duke Nukem is like super intelligent. God damn it! So Duke could probably win. Episodes under YouTube's a good place to start. I mean, it's a lot easier to get into that these days than it was back in the ye olde goddammit days. See, like YouTube used to be the purview of like only smart people at one point. Well, I say smart, like you had to at least have some technical ability. Whereas today, there's so much AI slop. Yeah, BJ survived the nuke, I suppose. God damn it. But I guess I just picture Duke winning just because Duke is supposed to be super smart, so he probably knows like, you know, super ninja combat skills or something like that. Be Chuck Norris. Bip. I mean, I could see that. Okay, let's get back down here. I grew up with Powerpuff Girls. I thought it was pretty good. I like the Beatles episode. It kind of flew over my head as a kid, but it's remarkably... Let's just put it this way. He knew his stuff. God damn it! Stop eating me in the bad way. Mind if I nibble your ear? You was a zombie? Okay, let's heal. Okay, let's save here. Joel Hogsden it. Man, the MST3K guys, they're all so old now. Everybody's so old. Duke Nukem was... Duke Nukem actually does go back to World War II in a comic, which I'm going to review in a couple months. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's Duke Nukem all the way, man. Duke Nukem all the way. And it's really a good comic. You can find it on the internet in certain locations, and it's really, really worth reading. I loved it. Like, even the ending is really good, where Duke Nukem gets to have a threesome with some French girls. Because, yes, he would. Why would he not? It's Duke fucking Nukem, man. Uh-oh, is YouTube censoring people? Because I saw a comment there, but it just disappeared. Uh-oh. Are people pissing off the YouTube algorithm? But yeah, I liked Powerpuff Girls as a kid. It's pretty good. It's the same. I don't know if like that's not exactly what I would consider like a girl show though. God damn it! I guess Hexen begs to differ. The black and white outlook. Oh, okay. Because YouTube has been known to remove people's comments, which annoys me. But yeah, like growing up though, like there was never like a big distinction between like boy and girl shows. People just kind of watched whatever they wanted to watch. Or there might have been, and I didn't care. Because if people were to ever like come to me, it's like, oh, you can't watch that, I'd be like, fuck off. Although I didn't swear at that time. I would have said basically the equivalent though. I'll watch what I want to fucking watch. Anybody don't like it? Well, that's tough. And yeah, I knew there was going to be a Powerpuff Girls C-dub series. I mean, are we surprised? I think wasn't one like a drug addict or something, like a heroin addict, and like the other one, like others were like not even a girl or something. I don't even know. It's C-dub. Alien Earth, I don't know. I haven't seen the footage. I have seen the teaser trailer to Predator Badlands. Oh man, people are eating good now. People eating good. Saying how it looks woke. I don't think it looks woke. I like that new Predator design. Yeah, it doesn't look as good as the original, but that guy's got to be in that suit for how many hours a day? You know, it's a thinner suit. It's going to be a lot cooler. It makes sense. And this is a guy that's going to try to act in a Predator suit for a whole movie, so I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't think it looks too bad. I like the way that Predator design is, you know, and knowing how the costumes work, if that guy in that suit is going to act at all, he needs to be able to move. Samurai Jack. You know, that's kind of crazy, Agnostic. I was just thinking about Samurai Jack today. I'm a big fan of Samurai Jack. Well, enjoy work. Ugh. Actually, I've been trying to find a higher paying work at some point in the future myself. But I like my job now because I can work from home and I don't have to drive. So whenever there's a giant storm, I don't have to worry about some idiot driving, you know, like 80 miles an hour and plowing into me, you know, and I'm trying to get to work. Or trying to avoid all the other wrecks. But yeah, Samurai Jack. Now that is a kick-ass show. Samurai Jack is about a samurai who has to fight an evil demon called Aku, voiced by Mako, who is a very famous actor who sadly died of throat cancer. It's basically, he's an ancient samurai that gets sent into the future, and he's got 4 seasons where he has to try to take down Aku. Show gets canned, and then like 15 or 16 years later, it's revived for 10 episodes. God damn it! For 10 episodes. And they finally conclude the series, and it concludes mostly on a high note. Evidently the video game, which is like DLC or something, has the canon ending. That's supposed to be like the happy ending, because like it's supposed to be like kind of a bittersweet ending in the actual show. But yeah, it's pretty great, with really good art style, really great voice acting, characters, all kinds of cool stuff like that. They introduced a female character in the 5th season. People kind of hated her. I was kind of ambivalent. I mean, it made sense to a certain extent that they would introduce a new character after all those years, so it's a pretty good show. It's not the best, but it's still pretty good. Small English town that was quite conservative. See, I thought you'd be single. Oh well. Oh well. Better luck next time. And yeah, Texas, despite what people might say, is not too down on those on that particular group of people. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be some places here like you don't want to go to like your small towns, but like Houston isn't too bad about it. Alien versus Predator versus Judge Dredd. Yeah, I've read it. It's not bad. Despite being an action show, something of a comfort show, I can see why. It's very fun. Okay, there's a key somewhere in this cave, and we've got to find it. I've never really listened to Pantera. I know that Doom ripped off some of the music, but that's about it. There is a key in this cave system that we have to find. You have to, like, drop down a tiny little rock to find it. And then once you do, you're good to go. Yeah, Season 5 is remarkably not terrible. I mean, it came out just before the Great Awakening, so it's still what it's supposed to be. One of my favorite characters from Samurai Jack is the Scotsman. It's like the only character that was actually able to stand up against... he was actually a heroic character, but he and Samurai Jack like fought each other. And in the 5th season, what ends up happening is... Oh man, do I want to spoil that? Let's put it this way. He basically uses a magic set of bagpipes to fight Aku. It's awesome. Yeah, Austin's a little too that way. Just because there was a guy who was defending himself from an AK-47 wielding maniac during one of the days of peace, let's say. And guess who went to jail? Was it the maniac or was it the guy who defended himself? So that's... Houston is much better about that. Houston is the right amount of mixed, I guess you could say. It's conservative where it needs to be, not so conservative where it needs to be. It's a nice balance between the two. However, unfortunately, we've gotten some Soros-backed judges which have been letting out murderers left and right. So, yeah. The Scotsman, yep, he is the coolest. Grand Rapids is kind of famous for being singers from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yep, I remember reading about that. The basket on his head. Oh yeah, I've seen the, I grew up with the 2003 miniseries. I have it on DVD! I remember getting it for Christmas. You better believe I threw that into my DVD player. I still have it. See, like, DVDs are great and all, but you gotta find a place for them. And I've got, like, tubs and tubs of DVDs. Whereas with media preservation, you can fit that same amount all on one SSD. Or a external. We're gonna find that key. If we don't want to go through here. Yeah, Gramps, he was the coolest dude ever. I mean, it still can't believe he's gone. But, because he was the coolest dude ever. I was very fortunate. I may not be rich, I may not be well connected, but I have the greatest family anyone could ever ask for. I mean, bar none. Everybody's awesome. So, find areas that are highly hostile. Exactly. It's sad that that is kind of the case with that, because, like, I'll tell you this: you gotta have. Okay, this is where we need to go. You kind of need to have a nice balance between the two. You don't want to have people who are really stuffy, but you also don't want people who are way too, well, stupid to defend themselves. So you kind of used to be you had a balance. Used to be that really crazy people were considered crazy. So, like, if you're stuck on a level, the game kind of takes pity on you and will just, like, teleport enemies. Okay, we're gonna no clip up here. We're no clipping, because I know that's where that key is, and I can't find it normally. You see, like, some of the more, you know, shall we say, trying to think of the best way to put that. Some of the more blue areas of Houston are actually pretty fun. You know, there's a part of town called Montrose that has a lot of cool little shops and things of that nature. People there are fairly chill, you know. I don't know if they're that way anymore, but they were the last time I was there. You've got a little, like, it's supposed to be an occult shop called the Magic Cauldron. It's been there for like 40 years, and it's kind of awesome. Okay, we don't want to go back this way, because we're trying to find the key. Now, what? It's just that the Austin's gotten kind of crap. Let's just put it this way. The Austin had a great music scene, which unfortunately I never got to see. That's where Stevie Ray Vaughan is from. Had a lot of cool little things like Alamo Drafthouse, but during the years of peace, let's say, like everything got smashed to shit. Which makes me very sad, because I've not been to Austin in like over a decade. Which sucks. Okay, maybe we do want to go this way. No, that's not where the key is. I know there's a key in this cave. I know it. I found it just like a week ago. Okay, we're going back. God damn it. I lost 2 points of damage. Okay, here we go. Save. Is that it? No. Do we need the swamp key to get up there? Where the hell's the swamp key? Oh, I know what the swamp key is. Okay, we gotta go to the castle. Well, glad you're enjoying it. I do stream like once a week. Mostly on Saturdays. One time on Friday. 7, only doing for 2. Big gray man. Well, that's sad to lose somebody that young. I mean, I was 35 when Gramps went wheels up, as he'd say, and it's been rough for a long time. I only just now was able to go to one of the ranges he and I used to go to. Carter's Country. Been there for like 30 years now. Shot the AK. AK is a good rifle. Not quite as accurate as an AR. Not quite as accurate. But it's close. Like, it's really close. But Carter's Country, I was really happy to go to Carter's Country just because I kind of had been missing it over the last 2 years since I went there. And it was kind of cool to go there because, like, the people that worked there back then still work there, including one old guy that Gramps called the Gunny. I was really happy to see he was still there. And see, Cyrus Von Knox, you're actually, you know, sane. And not a grifter. But yeah, it's one of those things. For me, I've always been the kind of guy that's like, so long as people aren't trying to pass laws that are socialist, I'm kind of permissive on a number of things. People have been taking it too far though, when it comes to a lot of this social justice crap. But the good old days when people just didn't care because they didn't have to. But man, you want to see some crazies, just look at TwitX, because man, they've been getting nuts. Grandmother when I was 9. You know, still soldiering around at 96. Holy crap. And so 96, that's, can you imagine that though? One day we might live in a world where people can actually live to like 106 and still be as spry as they were when they were like 60 or 70. Already, like, people who are in their 60s still look really young compared to people in their 40s back like 50 years ago. Okay, grab it, grab it, grab it. Get it. Okay, so we gotta go to the castle because we gotta get the swamp key, which is in the castle. We need to go back to the cave to get the bone key to get through another door. We tried the first level of Heretic, and yeah, Heretic is basically Fantasy Doom. But people flamed me for that in the comments. People flamed me for that in the comments because it's like, well, it's not really Fantasy Doom. It's like, then what is it, people? Born in 1879, 1997. Damn. There's actually some YouTube channels that talk about people in the 1800s that survived to like the mid 1900s. There's actually a clip from an ancient 1950s game show called Do You Know a Secret? And it has like the 80-year-old, and this 80-year-old guy who was there when Lincoln got blasted. I'm not saying it's an inside job, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It could be. Did we look at John Wilkes Booth's passport? Passports did not exist at that time. Passports did not exist until World War I, because apparently the whole passport system was set up to like catch German spies. Let's just say this, war is not good for anybody, especially people who don't want to have everything they do tracked in some way. Because, yeesh. Just blast them. That's why let's hope there is no World War III, because I can only imagine, in addition to all the mass death, what government overreach we're gonna get next. 95, okay, that was his 80s. And I remember, yeah, he was worried about, oh yeah, that man fell. It's like, well, more like he jumped, but okay. But then again, he's trying to remember something from back when he was like a kid. Damn it. That Federal Reserve, don't even get me started on that. Don't even. Or the income tax, it's just gonna be temporary. The gas tax, it's just gonna be temporary so we can, like, build roads. Here's the thing, it's never temporary. That's why I tell y'all, do not ever want more government regulation, because it's not going to end well for anybody. Because, yeah. Everything that was temporary never is. That was actually something my mother brought up the other day. You know, talking about the blueies. Now, see, for me, I'm not as nutty about the blueies as I could be, but the thing about it, and she mentioned something, and I hope it's true, that like most of the blueies don't actually want what all these crazies want, and so it's just a tactic to further divide people by basically blowing up all the crazies and making them look like they're the common beliefs. Which I hope that's true. I hope that's true, because yeah, and that's the thing. Nixon was actually supposed to be a Republican. Yeah, the gold standard was actually not a bad idea, although it wasn't exactly like Goldie Gold. Citizen in September of 2021. Nice. 224 years late. Well, we're glad to have you. So long as you don't want to get rid of like voting, we're good. Or, you know, get rid of the Second Amendment. Just don't worry about the Second Amendment. We got it. But Connecticut is one of those northeastern states, which evidently it's supposed to be halfway decent. But like, I've heard that New York is not that great just with all the crime, especially after the years of peace. People getting pushed in front of subway trains and such. I do know that Triple X Medic is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Got a lot of northerners around here, I don't know. I might be considered a traitor now. Today for a vampire book. Based on the gold standard called Blood Money. The money is tied to blood. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Blood would be a fairly scarce resource. It's a movie kind of like that. Either really rich or dirt poor. Suffers because of the city. I've heard about that, where like New York City is a lot like, or New York is a lot like California, where like LA and a few other places is what really holds the whole state down. Ugh, LA. It's true crime, streets of LA, man. They banned ninja swords? Well, that's shitty. Okay, so we need the castle key to get to the switch so we can get to the swamp key. Okay, did that open this door? The answer is no. Okay, so we need to find the castle key, and I think I know where that is. It's like, it's all the ninja-related crime. Weirdly enough, I do know that, like, the UK, like, banned, like, nunchucks because of, like, Bruce Lee. Okay, here we go. I already opened the door. I still would like to visit the UK. I'd like to see some of those, old castles, which would be really awesome. So there is a natural views in the match. Okay. Makes sense. Unfortunately, I personally live in an area that might well be the equivalent of that. Houston is considered like the armpit of Texas. It's like, I don't know if I really agree with that, but I can see why they'd say that. Also, like, ninjas were, like, considered really bad in the UK, apparently in the 80s. Yeah, well, you had to have, like, a grappling hook instead of nunchucks. Like, poor Mikey, he can't catch a break. Okay, so this is something where if you're not paying attention, you'll wander around for hours. There's a switch there. It's gray on a gray wall. If you're not paying attention, you are fucked. Like, you gotta pay attention in this game. Okay, let's go ahead and level up here. Give me all that sweet intellect. And the constitution. Okay, Spark is utterly worthless. Zap him. It's like, Spark doesn't seem to really do anything. Yeah, so one of the power-ups you can get here. Huh, I thought there was going to be a merchant here. Because usually there's a merchant that spawns there. Whatever. So yeah, this is a hilarious power-up. It's similar to what you can get in, yeah, you can turn them into pigs. But they'll still attack you. Amnesia, a machine for pigs. You mean a boring walking simulator? I knew gaming was gonna get bad when we got that. This is actually pretty easy. This is the only fireplace that doesn't have fire in it. This is kind of shitty what we're about to go through here because there's a room we have to get through that'll keep teleporting you back into traps if you aren't paying attention. One thing I noticed at like Barnes & Noble today is a lot of the books have the same plot. It's always like, originally you'd see this plot in all sorts of young adult fiction. But it's always about some kind of... God damn it. I'm all the way back here? Fuck my life. It's always about like a 16-year-old girl that has to overthrow a government. I've noticed that in pretty much all the adult literature, it's that same story over and over again. Alright, sleep well. But yeah, it's like the 16-year-old girl. It's like, what is with all these old-ass writers writing that, you know? It just gets old after a while. I mean, realistically, the whole 16-year-old thing, it's like, you're not really old enough to know that you don't know that you don't know. It's one thing I have learned as I've grown older myself, is just compare, even like in the last decade, between 26 and 36, I have learned so much that I didn't even know that I didn't know. Goddamn fire bats. It's all like, joining the stream in the future. Well, you're welcome here. Next week we're going to be doing Battlefront 2's campaign with Tamora Morrison as the clone trooper. And hard to believe we've got 20 years of Revenge of the Sith. Soon it'll be 20 years since Force Awakens, and I bet nobody'll care! Because in that movie, they destroyed the Death Star. I mean, the Death Planet? What? It's like, we're gonna build a planet, build a battle station out of a planet. How? Do you realize how many centuries that would take even with Star Wars technology to do? And why? Like, the Death Star at least makes a little bit of sense, because it's not that big. But the Death Planet... Crap. Yeah, the Star Killer base. Ugh. That's more than a base. I mean, you'd think that if they could make, like, an artificial planet, why even have an empire? When you could, you know, just... God damn it. Okay, we need to go down the right one of these things. There we go. There was going to be something similar to a Bounty Hunter 2. There was going to be a game called Star Wars 1313. We got some leaked footage of it. It looked like it was going to be awesome. But we never got it and never will. Yeah, you just have to go down the right one of those, the right little path. I don't even know how the Empire would have the money for that, or why. So apparently there's another thing going around the talking heads, and that is, okay, we got the swamp key, so we got to go back to the cave room to get the swamp door, I think. And even then, solving this puzzle is really hard, because we got to find more puzzle pulls to get us to open up one of the doors. We're going to defeat the first boss, even if I have to no-clip through the door. The Empire... yeah, the talking heads have been complaining about, there's apparently some, SA in the latest season of Andor. Now, I don't really care about Andor, because that's all Disney crap. But the reality is, you know, if you're going for a darker TV show, the idea that the Empire didn't get up to that is a bit, yeah, silly to think. Because all authoritarian governments do, and they would do it. So I don't really have a problem with that, especially since it's supposed to be a more mature themed thing. And it's like, if they think that's bad, don't tell them about, the New Jedi Order. I think they probably wouldn't be able to handle that. What with all the, you know, mass death. So, yeah. And besides, in a number of comics, you saw the Imperials doing some of that as well. Most notably, Star Wars Empire #4, where, like, one of the heroic Imperials, like, stops a guy from doing that. It was a very good comic. Death Kings of the Dark Citadel is brutal. I have not played that in probably 15 years, so I don't even remember. I might have just no-clipped the entire time. Okay, so we still don't have the cave key. Let's see, we've been going an hour 47. I might just no-clip through the door just to get to the final boss. But where can I find the swamp door and go through the swamp door to activate the thing and do the Night Dive, can you just add, like, a compass for me, please? You gotta be dedicated to beat this, but I gotta tell you, I've been having a lot of fun with this. Like, even in my off time, I've been playing this, and I have to admit, like, I've actually had a lot of fun with this game, and I haven't wanted to stop playing, so they must have done something right. I mean, as a kid, I always liked just kind of wandering around the level, so... Now, if only they could make this, like, a little better, I think, they'd be onto something. That puts quest markers on the auto map? I don't think I've ever seen it, but that might be. I've played a little bit of Dark Messiah, and it's not bad. It has like a kick mechanic that's like super overpowered. Yeah, you can't call it Slave 1 anymore. There's a UCS coming out from LEGO of Jango Fett's Starship. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, because it's so dumb. Or it's his fire spray class ship. I mean, that is what it is. But just call it Slave 1. Nobody's gonna notice. Indentured Servant 1, I like that. But yeah, it's just a name, people. I'm always gonna call it Slave 1 until I'm deep, deep, deep in the cold, cold ground. It's a good thing I got my UCS Slave 1 like 15 years ago. And it still says Slave 1, damn it. Amazon, what? Yeah, see, we should call it that. It'd be more accurate. Yeah, but it's Disney for you. It's Disney. Unpaid worker 1, consumer 1, Gunner 1. They just need to stop messing up all the good stuff. Like, just call it what it is. And it's not like... It's not like people are going to be like, slavery is great because Boba Fett's ship is named Slave 1. Taxpayer 1. Now, see, that's more right. That's more like it. Okay, we're going to go to the hippocampus real quick by teleporting through the door. No, we're not going to teleport. We're going to just phase to the door. Now, where's the hippodrome? The hippodrome? Okay, so what you're supposed to do here to progress through this area is you pull enough switches and then you light up all these things here. We've pulled one switch. This door opens, and that gets you to the boss. Oh my. That one's gonna be spicy. It's a spicy meatball. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, let's blast him. Okay, so the first boss isn't too bad. Provided you know what you're doing. And also, we can't just get to the boss. We gotta, like, fight through a shitload of Ettins. Now, my grandfather always called these guys here we're fighting the dummy two heads. I mean, they got two heads and they have really shit AI. So it fits. Sony might release the PS6. Seems like... Oh, yeah, that's one of those, super Ettins. Like, he can literally kill you in one hit. Because he is badass. You don't want to call him a dummy two-head, that's for sure. He'll fucking fry your ass. Just use the good stuff. Yeah, he's level 10. Yeah, I really need to level up. Zap him. He's got a homing attack and everything. But he's got a shitload of loot. Welcome back, Triple X. New version of Return of the Jedi that censors all the slave layout. I am surprised that doesn't exist already. Because that's really, really, suggestive. I don't know, am I the only one that ever found Carrie Fisher hot? I never found her that hot, to be honest. You know, I know that Slave Leia was supposed to be hot, but she just never did it for me. It's just, you would think she'd be kind of hot, but I don't know. She just never really aroused the young General Lotz. Now, when I was a teenager, I was a big fan of, and still am a big fan of, Mara Jade. I don't know, it's just something about redheads, man. They just do it for me. I feel like Carrie Fisher was just way too petite for my taste. I like the thick thighs. They save lives. Okay, there we go. And I know that Carrie Fisher technically did exactly like Princess Leia and slept with Harrison Ford. I mean, you know? Korax looks like something that came out of a toy line. Maybe. I have heard from other females that redheads are apparently crazy people, so... I don't know how true that is. I've never actually dated a natural redhead. But one female did indeed dye her hair red just for me, so there was that. And I gotta admit, that was pretty cool. But I'll tell you this, despite liking redheads, when that girl dyed her hair jet black, that really did it for me. I don't know. I'm a weirdo like that. Oh, I kind of like the emo look on a girl. I really do, you know? And, I kind of, not emo, goth, that's what that is. Emo, goth, whatever, same thing. One listens to Linkin Park, and the other listens to Queen Reich, or whatever the hell that's called. Where a police officer dresses up in a Slave Leia outfit. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yes, big titty goth girls indeed. I will say that from personal experience, big titty emo girls in particular, and I'm actually using the term right, can be great, but can be difficult. Just word of the wise. Crap, crap. Yeah, we got a new weapon. We got a new heavy metal staff. Uses the green mana, man. I really like this staff. Like, it looks pretty awesome. I think this is a reskin of the Hell Staff from Hexen or Heretic 1. I think. But as a youth, I was always a big fan of the goth girls. Okay, go. And since I was like 15 when Teen Titans, the first one, the good one, came out, you better believe I was a big fan of Raven Software. I mean, I was also a big fan of Visus Mar from KOTOR 2. I can fix her! I can fix her! Word of the wise, you can't fix anybody unless they want to be fixed, and most of the time, they don't. Because, damn. See, like, not only do people really think they don't even see anything as a problem, but they won't listen to you anyway, so, yeah. Hex Girl from Scooby-Doo. A man of culture. A man of culture indeed. We got our heavy metal, like, fire bats. Alright, let's just do some 3-round bursts. Do you have, like, a license for that 3-round burst? Oh, you got a license for that? Okay, so that's the trident. Get a license for that fire mace. Okay, so that's the trident. Bam. Okay, we're about to face the first boss of the game. Nerd, and hopefully not too hard to look at. Oh, you can find people like that all the time. You just gotta be where the people are. I recommend, like, going to the local mall, go to the local skating rink, they exist. Or make a YouTube channel. I mean, that always works too. I met 3 girls like that. Now, that doesn't guarantee success, but it will at least get your foot in the door. People are complicated. And difficult! Don't forget difficult. Bip. Castlevania 64 monster replacer for Heretic and Hexen. Huh. That'd be kind of neat. Okay, so there's gonna be a bastard that's gonna fly out. It's like a demon pterodactyl. And he's gonna flame our ass if we are not careful. That's some pretty good sound effects too. Run! Because he will utterly eradicate you if you're not careful. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna kite that guy and go over here. Because we can actually get the flying power up. Go, 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 go. Autobots to the skies! See, now he's not that hard if you can actually fly. Like Season 1 Autobots. He has a lot of health. Come on, we can do it. Got him. I prefer Skyrim modded. Vanilla Skyrim is just kind of boring to me, especially these days after having played thousands of hours of vanilla Skyrim. Thousands upon thousands of hours. Your mind still reeling from your encounters within the hypostyle, you stagger toward what you hope is a way out. Things seem to move faster and faster. Your vision blurs and begins to fade. As the world collapses around you, the brightness of a teleportal engulfs you. A flash of light, and then you climb warily to your feet. You stand atop a high tower, and from below comes the screams of the damned. You step forward, and instantly the sound of demonic chanting chills your blood. By all the gods of death! What place have you come to? By all the gods of pain, how will you even find your way out? It's all the drink.
Worship me, and I may yet be merciful. Then
Again, maybe not. Wait, what am I supposed to do here? Like, not fight? And yeah, I thought that, yeah, the Dragon Claw... If you look at it AI upscaled, it's pretty obvious that it's that it is his arm. But yeah, it does look pretty suggestive that he has it attached to a different kind of head. Chocolate Bethesda. Pfft. I mean, I wouldn't mod, or I would not play a Bethesda game unmodded, because yeah, you really kind of do need that. whereas like BioWare games, you don't really need it to be modded at all, because like the vanilla experience is usually pretty good. But yeah, to get most out of any Bethesda game, you've got to extensively mod it. And I mean extensively. One of the first things I'm going to do when I get my new processor installed is I'm actually going to mod Starfield and see if I can't turn it into a Star Wars game. Level 16! Tamriel rebuilt for Morrowind? I have not. I need to actually do some Morrowind modding, because apparently there's a Star Wars mod for that. All these dark bishops. Like, I ain't gonna get anything for the collection plate this week. Okay, so we have pretty much the same as we had earlier in the game. You basically just have to find a bunch of little marbles for this thing. Actually get a new voice line of, It's totally the developer recording on a shit mic. Alright. Oh. New Vegas can be a little confusing, but there are tutorials online. I guess I should make one myself, but so little time, lads and lasses. And speaking of time, we have come to a close for this week. Next week, I'm going to stream Battlefront 2, and we're going to play through the Battlefront 2 campaign in honor of Revenge of the Sith. So until next time, I am General Lotz, wishing you good Revenge of the Sith GBA, Revenge of the Sith PS2, whatever, makes you happy.